please crit. Please crit.
He crits! Oh my goodness! You called it. You called it. He crits him. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Vhagest Clue, a Ravenloft Dungeons and Dragons campaign. This is our second go-round of this. We had an introductory session just to get used to everything. But tonight, we're going to continue our story of what happens to our crew who have found themselves on a mission with the Vhage Agency, I should say. Would anybody like to recap your adventure so far?
Dreali would be happy to if nobody else would like.
Well, can Jace do it instead of Dreali? I'm sorry.
I suppose. Gosh, you're not letting me get into character, Mr. GM.
I know. Well, Dreali
right.
is somewhat hard to understand sometimes, so that's okay.
That is understandable, especially whenever I haven't warmed up the accent enough yet.
Right, exactly.
Or you warmed up your ears to it, I guess. Alright, so, last session. Every member of the party was off in their own world dealing with their own life problems when, for some reason, one or another, yet to be explained, a great mist came and overtook all of us. And when the mist cleared, we were nowhere that we recognized. Instead, we were all in a room together. There was a dark-skinned elven man with a blade already drawn, pointing at those around him who he didn't recognize. He called himself Dreali. There was a cat who had a fancy little collar on, and we later found out that this cat could talk. There was Perrin, you're an elf as well. Are you an elf?
Nope, human. Born and
You're
raised.
a human. Okay, there was a human. There was another human ranger. There is what looks to be just a standard accountant who has no understanding of the D&D world at all and was fully expecting to be sitting at his desk doing boring accounting job stuff every day. And then there was the other elf is not here today. What was her name again?
Vergeson.
Okay, I'm still learning everyone's names.
That's
Vergeson.
Right. Vergeson.
Who proved herself very useful in combat.
Right. Vergeson apparently is a ditzy blonde elf who managed to clearly show her merit with magic, but clearly also we didn't know. It wasn't too aware of what was going on. So
no, she seemed to lack some situational awareness.
Right, exactly, but that's okay.
Yeah, and then after we all kind of settled and figured out we weren't about to kill each other, Dreali was convinced the others weren't about to kill him. The verdict's still out the other way around. We were invited into a room by the man named with Vhage Agency on his door. It was kind of a Twilight Zone-esque feel in the area, just floating through space. And he explained to us that, yep, you're part of the Vhage Agency now. This is in the domains of Dread in Ravenloft, and we need you to go solve some mysteries throughout the other planes. He explained that if we wandered through the mists without a certain talisman to guide us, we would get lost, and who knows what would happen to us, and that he was unable to leave this area, which is why he had to send other people there. For one reason or another, we were all brought here by the domains of Dread and the dark powers themselves. And he doesn't necessarily know the answers to that, but he believes that if we help him out, perhaps some of our own questions will be answered. So he sent us to a small town where some very weird things have been happening. And it seems that these children were kind of running the town. The parents seemed scared. Upon further questioning, one of the kids told us that we needed to leave once we started asking about a mysterious dark figure known to be roaming the nearby woods. When Dreali in particular refused and started picking a fight, the kid obliged and summoned demons out of the bodies of all the other children, who kind of exploded in a very grotesque, violent scene. Fight broke out. We managed to win the fight, but the kid who summoned the demons was able to escape. Another child that was hiding behind a house nearby was noticed. We walked over to him. He explained some of the situation that this kid, who looked to be no more than 16 years old, had been here for decades and decades. It's always the same age. And that he had convinced these other kids that they would have superpowers if they followed whatever his cult was. and thus they returned into demons. And so now we are camping in the woods with this little kid his name is Sam. He basically thinks we're all superheroes, and now he gets to be a superhero. And now we will all hopefully go and seek out this mysterious individual who's been terrorizing this town with demonic cult practices. Does that about sum it up?
I think so, yes. The only points that I can mention, you did not mention Zerazur the cat.
I mentioned him, I just didn't say it by name. I said there was a cat with a special talisman who we later learned could talk.
Yeah, the talking cat. Okay, cool. Make sure we got that part figured out. All right.
Very important.
Other parts that are relevant. You are on the plane of Mordent. You are aware of that. You are.
Drelly is. Jace is not.
Your characters are aware that you're on the plane of Mordent, and you are in the town of Candle Cross. Things seem to be. It seems to almost be normal, except for the fact that there are clearly demon children and a few ghosts seem to be roaming around, and some dark figure that seems to be eating people's souls. So, all that aside, I think it's time we get started. So, you guys left off, you met Sam. Sam said, hey, basically, we're gonna go figure out what to do next, because he thinks you guys are basically superheroes, so you guys should be able to fix all the problems that he's been having. At least that's the explanation he gave you.
Considering we came from a different plane, I think he also used the term aliens at one point.
Maybe. Especially talking about Dreali, I think he would have referred to you that way. So.
Oh yeah, only an alien can talk like that.
Right. All right. Well, Sam takes you from the house that you were at. Zerazur, you're familiar with the house you were just at because that is where you found a few things. That's the house you broke into, if you recall. Do you remember what you found last time, or do I need to jog your memory?
Give me a moment. I do remember.
Yeah.
Do I remember? Maybe not.
Okay.
I almost remember.
You broke into a house, and within the house, you found, yes, the dead body of a little girl. Thank you, Dreali. You found the dead body of a little girl. I found
dead bodies.
Only Zerazur found this and has not disclosed this information. So there is that. He also discovered other bits of information that he's not disclosed with the party. Zerazur had a very enlightening time last episode. So Zerazur is with you. Sam is ready to take you away from where you were, because clearly that's a freak show where you were. There are now adults kind of wandering around the remains of these demon children that were out in the yard in front of their houses. They don't seem at all perturbed by this. As a matter of fact, Perrin actually shot one of them in the foot. No reaction at all. They seem completely void of humanity or life other than basic human functions. After a while, if you stick around, you watch them all go back into their houses, and things seem to go back to semi-normal for a little bit. Sam looks at all of you and says, "Oh, you guys can come and stay with me for a little bit if you want."
Thank you, Sam.
All right.
I suppose we should follow this child, no?
I agree. He knows better than us around what dangers lurk around here.
Baron, from what I could see, the biggest danger lurking around here is you. You're very handy with that bow.
Yeah, do a little spin. Thanks.
Yes, the recognition that Perrin deserved. All right. Sam says, "Okay, follow me, follow me." And he begins to walk down the path, and it's kind of back generally in the direction that y'all came from. He gets out to the edge, and you get away from town a little bit, and you get to the woods. And where you guys came in at, you came along the path, and if you were to go left, you'd find the shack that you guys saw when you first came in. He goes right into the woods and walks for a little ways, and is walking and is walking and is walking, and finally you see what you thought might have been just a collection of trash, And you realize soon this is basically a makeshift hut. You see some materials, some boards and things like that leaned up. He's got some leaves set up as well above the boards to kind of create like a roof type thing. You see almost like a kitchen-esque thing on the edge. There's technically a pot and a pan and a very poorly developed fire ring. And there seem to be sweets wrappers all over the camp. Well, guys, welcome home.
It seems to be a very good reflection of our group. At first it looks like a collection of trash, but once you get to know it, it's not that bad.
Sam, this is not a collection of trash. I will have you know, I worked very hard to build this. I put together some schematics. I think that's the word.
That was the point.
And I think this looks almost as good as the house that I was raised in.
What happened with the house you were raised in?
Oh, it's still around.
Just overrun with demon children?
No. It's kind of a tough subject, actually, especially at the moment. But let's just go with, for right now, I can't go back there.
Tough subject. Thank you for bringing it up, then.
Well, I brought up my house. I didn't bring up why I'm not there. We're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about the problem. The big problem. The big villain that is in our town. There's a bad guy roaming around our town. You guys are the heroes. You guys are here to save us. What's the plan?
Is he made of meat? Like flesh, blood, bones?
Why did you have to phrase it that way? No, he's not made of meat. Or at least okay, define it, because
you are made of meat. I am made of meat.
There's a couple of problems with assuming that it is made of meat. There's more than one issue here, as we, I think, figured out, right? There's an issue with the creepy thing in the woods, the boogeyman. That's scary. But also, Rudy's a problem. He's made of meat, as far as I can tell. But like,
goods, and we kill Rudy and see where we go from there.
Okay, we could try that. I guess I don't like killing things.
I guess your first instinct is to kill things.
Me?
Yep.
Yes. What else are we supposed to do? There's a big scary man who is summoning demons. You think killing it is not the best option?
I wouldn't call Rudy big.
I haven't met many scary men summoning demons.
Baron, what do you think?
Aaron's just looking at the candy wrappers and he's kind of like drooling a little bit. Sorry guys. Probably whatever you guys think is best.
Sam sees you drooling over his candy and he like reaches into his backpack. He puts his backpack on the ground. He kind of like reaches in. He's like, no, that's not it. Nope, that's not. Okay. Yeah, there it is. He grabs another bag out of his bag and he pulls a little candy out of his bag and he tosses it to you. And it's like a wax paper wrapping. And it seems to be saltwater taffy.
Nice.
Yeah,
perfect.
Exactly.
Thank you, Sam.
Of course. Thanks for helping. The least I can do. Well, okay. So let me maybe back up and tell you guys a little bit more about what's been going on these last few months, year. I don't know. It's kind of all run together at this point. So a while back, everything was pretty normal. This is a normal town with normal people where people acted, about as normal as any other town. Probably more normal than a lot of towns in Mordent. Everything was really quiet. People just kind of kept to themselves, and, there was the occasional creepy story, but for the most part, everybody just kind of kept to their own business. Kids were well-behaved and well-disciplined. As a matter of fact, a lot of people in Mordent knew that Candlecross was basically a goody-goody two-shoes place where everybody got along and everybody abided by the rules. And then, several months ago, one of the kids just started acting up. And finally, it ended with him and his parents getting in a huge fight. And people got called to the house, and there was a fire, and it was terrible. But then after that, his parents just let him do whatever he wanted. And I thought that was strange at the time, but then it kept happening. Things like that kept happening all over Candlecross, to the point that the kids started essentially taking over the town. Now, at first, I thought it was great. I could have all the sweets that I wanted. He gestures to his bag of sweets. And I could basically get away with anything. I mean, for me, it was pretty easy. And that's not to say that when I was at home, I couldn't get away with those things, because, parents wouldn't let a lot of things slide. And then you just see his face Sam's face kind of looks distant. I'd give anything to have rules again. I'd give anything to just even hear my mom yell at me one more time for trying to sneak sweets.
What killed them?
One night I was sitting there. I knew all of my friends were getting to do whatever they wanted, and their parents weren't stopping them. So I snuck out one night. I snuck out with a group of my friends, and we're gonna raid a store. They had lots of candy there. Some of the best candy in town, and it was all really expensive. But we figured if we could sneak in and nobody would see us, then it wouldn't be so much of a problem. And certainly their parents are going to stop them. I stuffed my bag full of candy, but I thought, why stop at candy? So I went down to the general store and I started loading up jewelry, and I started loading up weapons and anything I could find. Nobody seemed to stop us. At one point, I remember the store clerk came in while we were taking everything. He just looked at us. He didn't even try to stop us. But at that point, I was too scared. I took everything that I had and I ran. I ran as far as I could away from the general store, and then I ran home. I didn't know what else to do. When I got home, my parents were waiting for me. They were angry. They were furious at me, talking about how they raised me better than that, how I should have known not to do that, and what had gotten into me and what had gotten into this town. And I told them, well, my friends have all been doing it, and they said, well, your friends, something's wrong with them. And I didn't want to listen to them at the time, but I got angry, like really angry. And I knew a few of my friends weren't too far away, so I stormed out of the house, and they chased after me. And so I went after all of my friends, and I told them, make them stop. Make my parents stop telling me what to do. You guys got your parents to stop telling you what to do. Make them stop. I should have never told them to do that. The next thing I knew, Rudy showed up with that thing. And he walked into the house.
Pause with that thing. The thing that he was holding earlier that we saw?
Yes, that thing.
Okay.
He came in with that thing. He pointed it at my parents. And then he just grinned and looked at me. And I knew I'd made a mistake. I knew I shouldn't have asked him to do that, ever. Because what happened next ruined me. He pointed it right at them, and I watched the life drain out of them and disappear into that machine. But unlike the other parents, everybody, I guess, responds to it differently. They didn't make it. They just fell to the floor. And I thought maybe I could help them. Maybe I could save them. And I tried everything that I could. But Rudy didn't even care. He just laughed. And he looked at me. He said, "You're in charge now. You can do whatever you want." But all I wanted was to bring my parents back. And so I ran away as far as I could. I didn't want to be a part of whatever it is he was doing. And I can't go back to that house because he'll know where to find me. So I've been hiding out here in the woods. I'm too scared to go face him by myself, but now that you guys are here, you can do something about it. So, are you gonna help me?
Well, I figure the first thing to do is to get that machine and to restore the souls of the parents that are still alive. I do not know if your parents are too far gone. Seems that they are beyond the grave, so no point in making a fuss over something that cannot be changed.
I want to try to change it if I can. We have to at least try.
Dreali shrugs.
Who hurt
I
you?
agree with Sam. You know, he helped us out. You know, he gave us this amazing candy. I gestured to, you know, be handed another one. And I'm like, yeah, plus we have a job to do. We gotta free the town, you know. When we were first assigned this mission, I guess, we thought it was just a thing, but now kind of sounds like it's two things, you know. That's not too much more work, right, guys? Nothing that the mystery gang can't handle.
Sam hands you another taffy. That's right, the mystery gang. And speaking of mysteries, I'm not the only one who didn't feel comfortable with Rudy. I had a friend, but I haven't heard from her in a few days. And I think something may have happened to her.
Where did you normally meet this ally of yours?
The house that we met at.
Did you go inside?
No, I mean the house that I met you guys at.
Yes, I met you behind the house, right?
Yes.
So did you go inside to check on her?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
I knocked on the door a few times, but I didn't really want to make a scene with, you know.
no,
Everything going on.
understandable. You do not seem capable of fighting.
Thanks. You're a real nice, whatever you are.
No, I'm really not.
Well, can we go check on her? Because
It looks like
she was, I don't know, maybe a little bit younger than me, and she was just a normal looking girl, nothing strange about her, but apparently she'd been making a pretty big deal out of everything that Rudy was doing and trying to get people to help her stop him, but I wasn't that bold to say anything about it. But I don't know if she's hiding or what, but I haven't seen her in a while. So I was wondering if maybe we could go check out her house and see if there are any clues.
it's match the description I've seen.
Yes. This is the house that you just explored.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure you understand that.
Yeah.
You can probably put two and two together here.
I don't know if that's the best idea.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh, wait, do you say that in character?
Yeah.
Well, why not?
Yes.
I mean, her house should have clues to where she is.
Yes, but there may still be demon children around, if I believe that is what you're thinking.
Well,
Those are
you
there?
already fought demon children, didn't you?
I point to like a gash across my side from whenever Rudy hit me. Yes, and it was not enjoyable.
I guess that's fair. Maybe we can pick this up in the morning?
I don't see why not. I look at the group. Have you all eaten today?
I cast Goodberry and I eat one. I'm like, yes.
I was about to do the same thing. I'm glad to see that skill is amongst other people as well. May I have one?
Yeah, I give him one of the remaining 9, and I pass the others out.
If this is what yes, this is the same thing that I am capable of doing as well. Very good. These provide a full day's worth of nutrients, so we don't have to worry about scavenging while we are around.
Okay. Well, are we gonna hit the sack tonight, or what?
I figured you wanted food first. You're welcome to go to sleep hungry.
I'm kind of used to it, but sure, I'll take one.
If you're used to it, then definitely have some food whenever it is offered to you. Survival skills, they are important.
You know, I never really had a whole lot of survival training. They don't teach orphans that.
You weren't an orphan for very long, though.
Well, I don't think there's much of a distinction between orphans that have been orphans a long time and orphans that haven't. Either way, their parents are dead.
I was an orphan long before my parents were dead. Don't worry.
You're a strange, strange individual. Anyway,
I like to make sure I heard that right.
I'm gonna go to sleep, I guess. Oh, one more thing I should mention. Somebody keeps coming down the road late at night, and I don't know who it is or what they're doing. But
How do they travel? Like
they walk.
horseback, carriage, walk?
Yeah, they just walk.
Is it your scary boogeyman?
I don't know, and I don't usually try to stick around to find out.
Very good. I suggest we take watches tonight. Does anybody have a preferred order? No? Then
Not
I
for
suppose.
me.
Darkest.
Hmm?
I'll take darkest.
My friend, if you would like, I am used to the dark as well.
I assume the a cat has night vision. Dark
Yeah,
vision.
you can assume that. That is a good assumption.
Interestingly enough, the house cat, according to the D&D stat block, does not have dark vision, which is really stupid.
Well,
Not saying that this house cat doesn't.
House rule, this one does because
No, it absolutely should. It's one of the things in D&D that I feel like was overlooked. When
Absolutely.
I saw that, I was like, what?
yeah. All right, so
Um,
yes, you have dark vision. I think the only one who doesn't have dark vision is Perrin.
and
Yeah.
Brad's character.
All right, Jeff.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, do y'all take watches?
I suppose. Here, I will take the first watch. Zerzer, is that your name?
Yep.
Zerzer, I shall
Close enough.
It's
Wake
close-
you
it's
up when
close
I
enough,
am-
Yeah.
I shall wake you up when I am done. And then I suppose Baron, you can take the last watch.
I give a big thumbs up.
I'm just gonna sleep. If
Yes,
that's okay.
please do. Please do.
Thank you. And he kind of
go
settles
to
down. He grabs a book, and he starts reading a book that he pulled out of his bag.
That is not sleeping. Go to bed.
It helps me fall asleep.
I ask him if I can
Not gonna
read
read
a
that for you.
chapter.
Sure. He hands you the book. He's like, that'll give me somebody to talk about this with.
I just
Very good.
nod. I just
Then
nod.
Sam, while he is reading, go to bed. You need sleep for the morning.
Fine. All right, Dad. And he,
Yeah, it probably feels good to say that.
yeah, probably a little bit. He hits the sack. Perrin, you're a pretty quick reader, so you probably get through about half of this book during the nighttime. It is a book of ghost stories. It's basically an anthology of different ghost stories from around Mordent. So this is more of like a real haunts of Mordent's kind of story. A lot of them have to do with Sir Godfrey in Mordenshire, which is actually a place, and a lot of them stem from that. But there's also some random ones about, like, individual people and their strange haunt stories, or maybe some artifact that has somehow become haunted and has made its way around Mordent, things like that. But it's basically a true story, like true story of haunts around Mordent, basically.
True crime of D&D.
True crime. We're doing a true
Nice.
crime episode, guys. All right.
This is the story of Bed Tundi.
All right. So, you get to know from henceforth, by the way, do you have proficiency on history, by the way, Perrin?
Yes, I do.
Well, you have expertise while you're in Mordent now, because you just basically read a whole history of things that happened as far as haunts in Mordent. So you learned some things in your time there.
Oh boy. All right.
I assume you read this over your watch, or are you just like staying up and reading it?
Over my watch.
Okay. Then I'm gonna just for the record, Jordan, I'm gonna stay up for the first 4 hours since I only need to transfer 4 hours later before waking up Zerzer. So I'll stay up for 4 hours, wake up Zerzer after that, and
I
then
love
go to
how he
bed.
keeps calling him Zerzer. I don't know if I should correct him.
No, I mean I asked if that was correct.
Is it Zerazer or Zerzer? I'll allow
That's the
Austin.
person that asked, that made it up.
I forgot you made the name for him.
I made the name Zerazer. You take whatever you want. If you want it to be Zerzer, that works too. But it almost sounds
The
like
cat does not care.
okay. Well,
No, yeah, until the cat corrects me. Just because I
Yep.
heard it
You know what?
correctly at first, I'm totally fine with
in character,
really misunderstanding.
Dreali thinks his name is Zerzer. We'll just go with that. All right. So you take a long watch, and then you wake up the cat, and then the cat wakes up Perrin, and then the Perrin wakes.
Do we see this mysterious figure at night? I specifically go kind of sit outside watching the road
Okay.
to try and see.
While you are watching, you see what looks to be a humanoid figure walking with a lantern. And they get to about a little ways out where the road's at. You can't see a whole lot, but go ahead and roll perception. I want to see what you come up with.
All right. So I have dark vision to 120 feet, and they have a lantern. Do I need to do anything special, or does it matter?
It's dim lighting, so with disadvantage. Even
So I can see in dim lighting as if it were normal lighting out to 120 feet. I assume he's further away.
he is
than
further
that,
away
then.
than 120 feet.
Okay.
So disadvantage, not bad. 19 with the perception, not bad
With
at all.
disadvantage.
What on earth kind of that's a you have a plus 11?
No, I rolled an 11. I have a plus 8.
Cool. That was what confused me. Plus 8 is still really high. So
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
you see out in the distance what seems to be a somewhat familiar figure to you. It looks like it might be Rudy walking down the path. And then he takes a dip into the woods, roughly where, like he goes the opposite direction from along the road into the woods on the other side.
Okay. I would like to sneak after him to see where he is going.
Cool. Roll stealth. I didn't expect a combat encounter. I should start working on that.
I don't intend for it to be a combat encounter.
Well,
just so
you may not intend
just so
that.
just so you are aware, if it breaks down to combat, I'm probably gonna leave, and just go back.
Okay. Cool.
So
cool.
let's see. Do I guess I would roll stealth at normal, and if he is rolling perception to see me, or it would probably be his.
Or if you
passive 'cause he's
bought your
not
stealth
looking
roll.
whatever. We'll see.
Yeah, roll your stealth. We'll see what happens.
So out of curiosity, does he require dark vision to see me?
Yeah.
In this
okay. Again, this is dim lighting. He's got a lantern, but it's more than 120 feet away. So I'm gonna say that he's got disadvantage.
I guess
to
while
see
in
you.
darkness, I'm invisible to any creature that relies on dark vision to see me in that darkness. So unless he has true sight or something, or blind sight or something.
Okay, so
I'm invisible right now to him.
cool. So
So may I have advantage on this stealth roll?
Sure, you can have advantage on the stealth roll.
Haha. 28.
Only 28. I'm disappointed.
I know.
So he doesn't see you as you sneak around behind him.
I'm keeping a distance about
Right.
100 feet back, just so
Cool.
my dark vision reaches to him,
How
and I want to see where he's going.
How far do you follow him?
I assume he's going to that abandoned shack that we'd seen
You
earlier.
would be correct. You follow him, you
Okay.
notice that he goes into the abandoned shack. Now, mind you, when I say this shack is abandoned, I mean the roof has caved in.
Yeah.
There's obviously nowhere that he could be staying in the shack, but he goes in there and he's in there for your watches for 4 hours. It was 2 hours that you were there. He leaves about an hour and almost time for you to go back for your shift. He leaves, and you watch as he wanders back down the path and out and away back into town.
Dreali looks at him, looks at the camp, looks at the abandoned shack. I suppose I should let the others know and we can check it out in the morning. I really want to go see what's in there.
All right. What do you do?
I go back.
Okay.
I figured I was if I rolled a 7 or lower on my wisdom save, I was gonna go check it out.
Okay.
I go back.
There you go. All right, so you go back to the camp. You go and wake up Zerzer.
Zerzer.
Zerezer,
Yeah, I wake up
or
Zerzer.
Zerzer, as you may call him. Or just Zer. You can call him Zer, that's fine.
Yeah.
You go back and get the cat to wake up. The cat wakes up.
Hey,
Nothing interesting.
Zerzer. I already saw the dark figure along the road. We can discuss it in the morning, but you should be fine for your watch. And then I go to bed.
I mean, sounds like certainly something to be concerned about.
I already saw somebody. We should be fine. It's like, you saw somebody? That's concerning.
Doesn't sound like we're fine.
Yeah.
Sounds like the opposite of fine.
No. He came, he left. It was, I believe it was Rudy. He went into that abandoned shack.
Was
I can
Rudy?
explain
Wait,
it.
what?
Look, I'm tired. I can explain in the morning.
All right.
Okay. Sure.
All right, Zera Zerbo the cat. Where? What do you do in your watch? Do you do anything interesting or just sit there?
I take a bath.
Yeah. Good use of time. Might as well.
I'm trying to sleep, and I just hear.
Yeah. It's that terrible sound that cats make when they clean themselves, and it's absolutely silent. You just hear like. Yeah.
Yep.
That whole thing is going on. You just hear like the tearing of fur and stuff like that. It's a lovely sound, let me tell you.
At one point, there's a fur ball that gets coughed up. You know.
Yeah. Oh, it's a whole thing. All right. After that, do you go and wake up Perrin?
Yes.
How do you wake up Perrin? Because you're a cat, and I have to know.
So I guess the first thing I'll do is lightly touch a claw to his nose.
Meow, meow. Perrin.
No, no sound, just a claw to the nose.
Oh, just. Boop. So, Perrin, there is a cat booping your nose.
With a claw, it's kind of it hurts.
Oh.
Yeah, I probably wake up to that.
Okay, so claws to the face. You wake up to that.
Oh, hi. Is it my turn?
Apparently.
Sounds good. I go take that nice watch.
All right, and you go through your watch, and nothing appears to happen. The sun comes up, and now the sun comes up. Sam starts to kind of get a little restless, wakes up, and he kind of comes and sits with you. If anybody else is an early bird, then they would see this as well. At this point, it's just, Dreali and the cat. So, yeah, y'all decide what you want to do. But Sam goes and sits with Perrin. So, I guess you read a few books?
Yeah, you could say that.
Do you have a favorite?
I doubt you'd know it.
Well,
Sorry.
why don't you tell me about it?
I proceed to tell him about the 3 little pigs.
That's your favorite story? He's like, huh, I haven't heard that one before. My dogs have, apparently. So, he says, I haven't heard that one before. So, like, the hungry wolf wants to eat, but the pigs won't let him. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, they build houses. The pigs help each other out. It's pretty cool.
I like
gotta
it.
say.
I like it. That's an interesting story. My dogs are going to keep doing that. I do apologize.
Don't apologize for dogs or cats, for that matter.
Right.
Pets are a wonderful part of life.
Don't apologize.
My wife came home, and so they're freaking out because they're like, she should already be inside the house, and she's not. So, all right.
Aw.
So everybody gets up in the morning. I might change the music to be a little less terrifying for what we're doing. Let's see. That's still quite terrifying. We'll worry about that later. All right.
Yeah. While you're searching for music, I'm gonna pipe up. Well, I did see the figure come down the road last night that you mentioned. I stalked him for a while. It appeared to be Rudy. I didn't confront him to confirm this, but it appeared to be Rudy holding a lantern. He came down the road. He went into that abandoned shack that is dilapidated across the way a bit. He stayed in there for about an hour, hour and a half before coming out and returning to the town. I suggest we go look inside of there.
Burn it? Oh, look
and
inside it.
see, burn it afterwards possibly, but let's look inside and see what he was doing in there. No?
Ooh, I'm glad I resisted my urge.
Your urge?
There should be mice in there.
Oh, there probably will be mice in there. I suggest you catch some.
No.
Thank you,
That would
Jordan,
not
for
be
the
dignified.
much less terrifying
Somehow
music.
that made it worse.
That's-
I don't
That
understand.
it's so much worse.
There, we'll try this. This might be better. Nope, not any better. Somehow it's always getting worse. I only have
You mean for
terrifying things.
You mean I was gonna say for your Ravenloft campaign, you only have like scary music on the playlist?
Yeah, well, there is that. We'll try that for now. All right, so that's much better. You wake up. You know, we're just not doing music right now. That's what we're doing. We're just not gonna do music right now. All right, so you wake up in the morning. You head over to the abandoned shed.
Sam, what do you know about this place?
Well, it's kind of odd. So, like, Candlecross has been here a while, like a long time, longer than me for sure. And as far as anybody knows, nobody's ever lived here. As a matter of fact, some people don't even remember. There's a time that some of the older folks don't even remember this place even existing. They would come out into the woods and there'd be nothing here.
So, mysterious, dilapidated place appeared. Nobody has ever lived here. It's been here a creepily long time, and your Rudy from the town came here in the middle of the night and stayed in there for like an hour and a half. Sounds like a good place to get started.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I think that would work. So, let's do. Well, all right. I won't worry about that. All right. So you guys go over to.
Yeah. Sam, before we enter the house, since you said that nobody teaches orphans any survival skills, I'll teach you one right now. You see that we know the background of this place means that it is likely it's connected to the demons, correct?
It's possible, yeah.
It's possible. So, what is the best way for you to enter there safely, given the fact that you do not have much combat experience?
Let everybody else go first.
Good. You don't. You stay out here.
But I want to go see what's inside.
Fine, but we will make sure it is safe first.
Oh my goodness, my dogs. I'm so sorry. Anyway. All right. So that's not going to help. Let's do I'm sorry. My dogs are just causing issues.
But it's Lila and Loki. They're adorable.
Yeah, they are, but it's mostly Lila.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay.
Sasha keeps bringing me the balls, so you'll probably hear her whining at some point.
Okay. So, we're going to stop that for right now, and we'll add some music so that you guys can actually have something other than, terrifying music. Okay. All right. So, you guys go over to the shack, and as you're over at the shack, shed, whatever you want to call it,
How far... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
How far outside of town are we, roughly?
You could say you're probably about maybe 3/4 of a mile outside of town.
Okay, 3/4 of a mile. Darn, I was hoping we were at least a mile out of town. Never mind then.
All right. So you all approach the shed. What do you do at the shed?
Baron, Zerzer, I believe that both of you are probably also very good at infiltration and observation. Do either of you have a particular skill in this?
I offer to cast Pass Without Trace.
That would help us not be noticed. And perhaps Zerzer, if you are hunting for mice, perhaps you can see if there is any small alarms, tripwires, and the like in the area that could alert others to our presence.
This is not the time to be hunting for mice, which is contradicted by my tail that really wants to hunt for mice.
You see that? He's got that twitch in the back of his tail, like it's doing that thing on the very end where you're just like.
Indeed, your dilated eyes and your tail tell me otherwise, but nevertheless. I guess, can I make a Arcana check just to see if perhaps there's some type of warding along the outside of this place?
You may.
Alright, I don't think it'll be good. No, it's only a 9.
9 will not tell you one way or the other.
I don't see any arcane wards around this place. I suppose we can enter.
I would also like to check.
Go for it.
Not that I don't trust this fine man.
You also do not see any arcane wards.
Nice.
Very good.
As you approach the shed, you notice that it is really quite dilapidated, but not in the traditional sense as though it's rotted over time. It looks like this place was almost destroyed. The front beam seems to be hacked apart, and it's kind of bent inward into the shed, causing the entire front of the roof to collapse in the middle. So the only way to get into the shed is actually on these sides, and you actually almost have to crawl in there to get into the shed. There's holes in the roof that seem to have been caused by a fire. It almost looks like there was a very small fire that was formed in there, and that seems to have happened before the collapse of the roof. It also seems like there's a lot of foliage that has fallen around and inside the shed. But other than that, there doesn't seem to be anything particularly interesting about it. Do you enter?
I suppose we should go in. Except, Sam, you stay out here, keep a watch. Once it is safe, we will call you to join us.
I guess that's fine.
Hey, you're the one that said you wanted rules.
You're right. You're right. I appreciate it, but I do want to see what's inside.
Good, you're practicing your patience. That is another skill important for survival.
Okay. He patiently stands while you enter the shed.
Yeah, and I cast Pass Without Trace.
All right.
So we'll have +10 to stealth checks.
Oh my goodness, that would have given me a 38 last night.
Yeah. All right. Anybody want to roll stealth as they enter, or are y'all good to just walk right
Yeah,
in?
I'm gonna kind of sneakily enter. Do we need to roll like acrobatics as well to get in the hole stealthily?
No, I'm going to assume between the ranger, the rogue, and the cat, y'all have enough acrobatics to get through.
Yeah.
Slightly
Okay, 34.
visible. Okay, 16. It's almost a minimum roll. He gets to 16.
Yep, 34 for me.
All right.
Rolling stealth? Is that what you
Yes,
said?
stealth with a +10. All right, 18. All right, you all enter very quietly, very sneakily enter in. You notice that there is light kind of passing in through the shed. And you notice that there doesn't seem to be anything particularly interesting about this place. It's just It's just a big open area. Go lay down. It's just a big open area. You don't see any furniture. You don't see tools. You do see maybe some things up against the walls, some boards and things like that. But overall, you don't see anything that makes this place remarkable.
Okay. He was in here for an hour and a half. It is likely that he was either communing with the evil spirits he has been in contact with, or there is a secret door to a basement or cellar or some other room here that we're not seeing. I suggest that we look around, see if we can find anything.
All right, roll perception. or investigate.
If it's a choice, I'm gonna roll perception.
Okay, go for it.
18.
All right, you roll an 18.
Yes.
Ooh, Zeros rolls a 4 and Parrot rolls a 6. All right, Dreali. As you're kind of scooting along the floor, you kind of kick some stuff out of the way. You notice that there's some foliage and things like that seem to all be kind of in a pile. And you're like, that doesn't seem normal. It didn't seem like a natural collection. So you kick it out of the way. And as you look very closely, you notice a door, like a trap door. Doesn't seem to have a handle or anything, though.
Parent, Zerzer, it seems that there is a trap door here. Can you help me investigate for whether it is locked, if there's traps? I don't even see a handle on it. But this is definitely hollow right here.
This is not my area of expertise. Paws are not good for this type of thing.
No, perhaps not. I assumed it looked a little bit like a mouse hole where the keyhole might be.
There doesn't seem to be a hole or anything. You just notice that there is a cutout around the wood of the floor.
All right. Baron, can you help me check it out?
Yeah. And I start investigating. Pow.
Oh my gosh.
All right. With a nat 20 on your roll, and a 24 total, I will give you this much information. You notice that the floor, most of this panel seems to be similar to the rest of the floor, but there is one section, almost like a very small square section, that seems abnormally clean, and it seems to make a very definitive square. It seems that as though it has been utilized by some kind of arcane mechanic to be fixed to something for some period of time. In other words, it looks like somebody magically attached something and detached something in that particular spot. And what did you roll exactly? Was that investigate?
Yeah, that was investigate.
Okay, cool.
Do you share this information with us?
Yes.
I see.
That I do.
Well, I pull out the crowbar from my backpack. I just checked to make sure I had one, and I hold it up. I suppose that this will do the trick. No.
Not a bad idea.
It's worth a shot.
Wedge it in there and try and pry it open.
All right, roll athletics.
12.
It does not budge. As a matter of fact, as you stick it in there and you even try to move it a little bit, you notice that it is abnormally difficult to move. It doesn't seem like the wood is what's giving you resistance.
No, there's something more about this. I expect that this is arcane trickery. Zerzer, you're proficient in the arcane arts, right?
Somewhat.
Do you believe that this is that there's some kind of spell affecting this to prevent me from opening it?
You can roll Arcana.
No, I have thought it was open already.
Oh, Sam, you can come in here now. Thank you for being patient.
Oh, Sam's like, what? What'd you say?
Yeah, it's safe. Come on in.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be right. Guys.
What?
You hear some subtle scurrying outside, and then you hear screams. No! Don't take me! No!
Okay.
No! Roll initiative.
Whew. 25.
All right. And let's go to. That's too slow. We need fast.
Oh yeah.
Uh.
Hit us with that combat music. Oh man, we are getting some insane initiative right now.
All right.
Yeah.
I wish we were fighting at night.
Okay, that works. Okay, cool. If you got good music now. All right. So, wow, those are some initiative rolls. Okay. So, you hear the struggling going on outside as Sam is screaming out for help. The first to react is Dreali. So Dreali, you run out. You see this larger, actually two adults have Sam.
Okay.
And they seem to be like pinning him and grappling him.
Okay. How far away is he, and how much of my movement have I used?
It's gonna take you to actually get out of the shed and like maneuver it, because you can't just run out of the shed because of the situation with the roof. It's gonna take you at least probably
Okay.
20,
I have
25,
foot,
25 to 30 feet of movement to get even out of where you're at.
Okay.
He's standing a good 25, 30 feet away.
Okay, so I have a 45-foot movement speed, so it takes me 25
and
to
they
get
have,
out. I have another.
They have moved as well another probably 20 or 30 feet from where he was.
So I get out. I've used 25 of my 45 movement feet, and he's probably what, 40 feet away now?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna bonus action. No, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm gonna bonus action to cast Zephyr Strike, and then I am going to. Actually, no, because I have to attack before I get my movement bonus. I'll just bonus action to dash. So then I will be able to move an additional 65 feet. I will get over to where they are, draw my sword, and attack the closest one of them to me.
Okay. You roll the attack.
Only a
You miss.
9. I do miss. Let me.
You shouldn't have advantage at this point. So.
No, I don't, but I can take an additional attack because it's the first round. So then, man, not
Okay.
great.
You
Swing twice.
run up with your
with both
rapier,
hands.
and you, in your frantic haste in trying to save this poor boy, you swing twice and miss both times. Part of it just being the nerves that you didn't want to accidentally stab Sam himself.
Yeah, but I'm up in melee with them. I position myself so that I'm within 5 feet of each of them.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have Austin. Or sorry, I shouldn't say Austin. Zerazur.
Right.
If you peek outside, you'll see Dreali frantically swinging his rapier at two people who are carrying Sam.
My attack rolls this campaign have been awful.
Where am I right now? Inside this thing?
Yeah, you're still in the shed.
Okay. Where's the door? It's right there.
Oh, I just realized that I don't have y'all on the same page that I'm on. All right, cool.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
I don't know that this is the right page either.
This is not, or this is the right page. I don't have a battle map for what we're doing.
Oh, that's fine then.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so I run outside.
Okay, you run outside. You see two people with a struggling Sam, and then two adults with a struggling Sam, and then you see Dreali swinging at them with a rapier. What do you do?
Sound fair? How far away are they?
From where you're at, about 60 feet.
Right. Went to firebolt one of them.
Okay, there's one on the right and one on the left. Which one do you firebolt?
Left.
Cool. Roll it. You miss.
Our rolls are so good.
Yeah, they're pretty great tonight. All
Went
right,
really fast.
Dreali, as you're standing there, you notice like some heat flash right past you and barely miss you as it singes between you and the person that you were fighting on your left.
Dara hisses in my hair as some of her the hairs on her leg are singed.
Yeah.
I have yet to hit
All right.
anything this campaign.
Hey, I don't think I have either actually.
All right. Well, you took down several demon children, so.
No, I think that was all Perrin and
Oh yeah.
Ellen's character.
Yeah, you're talking about Ferguson, right?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ferguson.
All right. So, next up we have the great Perrin Taffy.
All right. Bonus action to Zephyr Strike.
Oh boy.
Run out of whatever building I am in.
The ranger's gonna range some stuff.
As long as it's, at least, or at no more than 30 feet to leave, I should have sight of the enemy, right?
Yeah, no, you definitely will have sight of the enemy.
In that case, I will use my cool little sharpshooter feat to take a -5 penalty to my attack roll, but roll with advantage due to Zephyr Strike.
Good call.
And try to hit.
Kabam! You hit.
When
Oh,
you can hit
boy.
with -5 and we can't hit at all.
Which one would you like to hit? The one on the left or the right?
The one on the left.
Great. Wonderful. So you hit the one on the left.
I will use my Crucible Strike. My
Okay.
good friend.
Jeez. All right.
35.
Drayali, as you're standing there, you see fire flash past you, and as you take a step back, it just leaves a perfect spot for Perrin to just land a shot and hit one of the adults straight through the eye. He falls to the ground immediately, which deadweights Sam. Sam is... do you have anything else that you need to do, Perrin?
Nope, that's it.
All
You
right.
have an additional 30 feet of movement since you used Zephyr Strike if you want to use it.
Oh yeah, I guess I walk there.
Okay.
It says your walking distance.
Yeah.
Not running distance. No running allowed.
He just
Walking
casually
only.
walks up to it. So you're
With
halfway
like wind under his feet.
halfway to them at this point. Sam is going to take this opportunity to try to swing at one of his assailants.
Does he still have the dagger I gave him?
He does. He pulls it
Yes.
out. With a 15, he is not going to hit. And as he tries to swing, the adult who is formerly off balance now grabs him by both of his hands. It's now the adult's turn. The adult transforms into a giant eagle. And he flies.
That's unexpected.
Yeah, exactly. He flies straight up. It's not your typical
Man.
eagle, though. I'd say it's more like a very dilapidated eagle, more like a vulture. Flies.
Do I get an up attack?
You do get an op attack. Go ahead and swing.
All right. Whew. Oh, let's hope that this time I can actually hit. 24.
You will hit with a 24.
And do I get sneak attack since I have an ally adjacent?
You do not have an ally.
He's-
Oh, okay. I'm gonna rule that's
He
not
has a
adjacent.
weapon.
What?
He has a
He does have a weapon. The problem is he's currently
It's a
incapacitated.
hostage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Are you telling me that it says he gets the keyword incapacitated?
Fine. You get sneak attack. Take your sneak
Yeah.
attack. Okay.
It's a giant eagle. It's not like I'm gonna take him down.
You're not. Yeah, but that's okay. You can go ahead and swing at him.
Then I'm gonna mark him as my favorite foe as I do
Cool.
so. Okay, yeah, I was making sure it didn't have to be on my turn. All right, 13 damage.
Okay. The eagle does not look happy as you poke him with your rapier. He begins to bleed from one side. His eyes start to glow red, and he flies straight up 60 feet.
All right.
And lets out a blood-curdling. It's not really like you've heard like a majestic eagle cry. This sounds like a demented form of that. It's more of like a twisted, like almost like a mix between an eagle and like a vulture hawk type thing.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's terrifying. You don't like it at all. 60 feet up
Nope.
as it takes damage. Now Sam is also 60 feet up. And that is his turn. Back to the top of the order, Drayali.
All right. I pull out the longbow.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on the eagle,
Okay.
and I'm going to shoot at him.
All right. Roll to hit.
Come on. 23.
23 will hit.
And then that's 7 piercing damage from that plus a. Do I still get sneak attack or
No,
no?
you do not.
Okay. Is Hunter's Mark is a D6, so
Yeah,
then
you still get the D6 though. Yeah.
and the D4 from favored foe.
Yep.
So another 8 damage. So a total of 15 damage.
Okay, he's not looking good. You hit him, and he kind of like one of his wings kind of like takes a dip, and he's struggling to keep up at this point.
Okay, and do I see has he started moving in a direction at all yet?
He has not started moving yet. He just went straight up to start with because I kind of got the impression he was trying to get away.
Okay, I'm gonna see if is there anything like I can go get a little high ground on. If not, I'm just gonna start running back towards the town because I assume that's the direction he'll be going.
That is a safe assessment. Sorry, ask your question one more time.
I'm gonna start moving in the direction of the town, so 35 feet towards the town because I assume that's where he's going.
Okay, so you're gonna start running into town, just straight up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That does check out. So you just begin running straight into town. Got it. All right. Next up on the turn order, we have. I don't know where that's stopped. All right. Next up on the turn order, I believe we have Mr. Zerazer.
How far away is the flying thing?
It is 60 feet in the air plus 30 feet in front of you. So
60 feet.
Yeah, roughly. So 60 feet. Yeah, 60 feet is what you're looking at.
In range.
Yeah. You got a few things that can handle that.
Yes. But he's carrying Sam.
He is carrying Sam. 60 feet up in the air. That could possibly end poorly for Sam.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
I do not have feather fall, so.
Yeah. So what do you do?
I'll cast another fireball. I have to hit at some point.
I believe in you. Oof.
All right, what was the roll?
10.
10 does not hit as a fireball swings right past one of his wings, and he narrowly escapes getting hit.
Oh, this is going so well.
Yeah, this isn't looking good for you guys. What do you do?
I mean, I have my hunter's mark on him. We should be able to follow him if nothing else.
Right.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. All right.
Unless we don't mind Sam getting hurt. Which,
I think y'all mind that. I had to guess. It seems like y'all mind that.
Do we?
I mean, I know that Dreali doesn't really mind.
We're gonna do this for now.
He would be disappointed, but he wouldn't be, like, broken up about it. He'd be like, oh, that was rough. Shouldn't have gotten caught, buddy.
All right. After it is Zerazer's turn, Perrin, what do you do?
What do I know about birds? Is there a way that I can shoot one so it glides down, or do I know if like shape changing would make it revert back to original form? Can I roll Arcana
You
for
are
that?
welcome to roll Arcana or Nature.
Oh, nature, you say?
Nature. Well, here's the difference, though. Rolling Nature only tells you what you can do to a bird. Doesn't tell you what you can do to a druid, but it tells you what you can do to a bird. And in this case,
Well,
I didn't even know it was a
Arcana.
druid.
you rolled a 22, so I can tell you some things.
Thank you.
If you can land a spot just in the right part of his wing that locks his wing into place, in other words, it keeps the joint from folding back, it may keep one wing out and make him basically do a spiral down. Whoa, I just hit my mic. He'll spiral down instead of spiraling up and out, if that makes sense.
Well, mechanically, this sounds like a called shot.
Yeah, it
Gotcha.
does actually sound like a called shot. You are correct.
Man, sure. You know what? I'm a cool sharpshooter.
Yeah.
I'm
If there was
awesome.
ever a time for a called shot, it would be with the sharpshooter, am I right?
I'll
Yeah.
do the cool Zephyr Strike, give myself advantage. I know, how original.
I love it, honestly. Makes it even better
19.
that you're...
19 will hit.
Yeah. So, pew, 22 damage.
Oh,
Normal
man.
amount.
All right, oof. All right, so you hit the bird, and conveniently, you do not knock out the bird, but you do
Oh, man.
lock the wing. As you lock the wing, it begins to spiral down. It goes down 30. It'll go down 30 feet this turn. and it will attempt to get out of the death spiral on its next turn. We'll see how that goes.
Which is now. Right?
It is actually, yeah, it is the bird's
Or is it
turn.
Sam's first?
I keep running in that direction, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, so do you guys see the map now? Is that
Yeah, I moved myself further down the road. I don't know which way it was towards town, but I just
towards town?
randomly called it one way.
I'll say that left is towards town. That makes sense. All right, so it is now spiraling down. Things are not looking good. Is there like a vortex type thing? No, there is not. But we're gonna say that he's there. Okay, we have a thing. All right, so we have the bird. It is not.
Oh, use this one. You can make it look like there's arrows on him.
Arrows. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, anyway, it doesn't really matter. All right, so
No.
he's spiraling down. Sam is now screaming, "Ah! Help!" And Sam, he's gonna make a wisdom save to not try to escape. If that makes sense.
What? Oh, I thought he should try and jump into a tree.
There's not a tree where he's at to jump into. He successfully
it tough.
decides that jumping would be bad. All right, so the bird starts spiraling down. The bird now is going to make an attempt and try to get out of his particular situation. The 21 will make, and he manages to just screech through it and extends his wing, and it breaks and snaps the arrow, and then he finally is able to catch himself before he hits the ground. He is, however, only 15 feet off the ground at this point. So something to think about. You
said there's no trees near him either?
No, there's no trees where they're at.
Ah,
They're out
darn.
for the
I wanted
bird.
to do some like epic leap off of a tree onto him and take him out.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah, are there any windows out here?
Are there any windows? No, there are no windows. Sorry. All right. So with that, we'll go back to the top of the order. Dreali, what do you do?
I realize I'm now running the wrong way. So I turn around, I grab my bow, and I take another shot at him.
Roll it.
Only an 8, so it's probably gonna miss.
Unfortunately, an 8 does not hit the bird.
And I am going to run back over here and get underneath. I think. Let's see. Is there? We're just in an open field.
Right.
Okay. Then no. That's all I'm gonna be able to do. right.
Okay.
I just get my bow loaded again, ready to shoot.
Sounds good. Next up is Zirazur.
Right?
What do you do?
One moment.
I cast Fireball. In the middle of everybody.
Yeah. This is the perfect time for Fireball.
He is only 15 feet off the ground. Okay. Zirazur, what is your call?
Let's see. So he's only got 15 feet off the ground. Can they all fit within Fireball?
Theoretically, yes, but let's not try that.
So would Sam?
Oh, Sam would if you hit the bird, you'd hit Sam. There's no two ways about that.
Yep. With Fireball, yeah.
Definitely. Firebolt, definitely you could probably avoid hitting all of them, but yes, that definitely would be very difficult to do. So what do you do?
Let's see. We're gonna try a different tactic and go with Dissonant Whispers on the bird.
Dissonant Whispers. I like the flavor of that a lot. Oh. All right. He needs to roll, right?
Yes, it is a
Say wisdom. Please say wisdom.
wisdom.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a druid.
It makes.
20.
So I think it takes half of this.
Okay. Takes half of 2. Oh, he takes half of. I thought he took half of 2 for a second. He takes half of 4, which is 2. Okay. So, regardless how much he actually takes, the bird is no longer a bird. The bird falls to the ground as a man, and so does Sam. They both take very light fall damage. 4 damage apiece.
Out of curiosity, what spot did the guy fall in? This might, well, I have my bow out, so even op attacks would be kind of annoying right now.
Bam. He lands right next to you. Sam, however, lands in this spot right over here. Both are prone. That is rather significant as well.
Yep.
All right. And that is your turn, Zerazer.
Just
All right. Perrin, there's a prone man in front of you. What do you do?
I run up to him and I try to restrain him.
What a baller.
Rolled athletics?
Athletics, you say? Maybe I shouldn't have tried this.
Well, he's gonna try his hand at it as well, and he's gonna do better than you did.
Oh my word, this guy's a baller.
What the heck?
I mean, he's got a +1 to strength.
Question.
Sorry, yeah.
Being prone, does this affect anything?
You know, I'm gonna give him disadvantage. That does make sense. So we'll try that again. You restrain
yeah.
him.
Oh.
Very nice. I'm glad you caught that. All right, so you restrain the man who turned into a bird. What are you? Let me go.
We have some questions for you.
I'm sure you do. Spits
Next
in your
turn?
face.
Kind of sad about that, but that's fine.
I'm not sure that I'm gonna stick around for questions.
He says, I don't care what it is you want to know. The rest will be here soon and they're going to take the boy.
Oh,
all right,
how
time
many
to
do you
open
think
his
are
throat.
coming?
What? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
How many do you think are coming?
I don't know. I mean, there's probably a dozen of us or so. Probably not all going to come after the boy, but I'm sure it's enough to take you guys out.
I
This,
check how many arrows I have. I think we'll be fine.
He does the whole, there's 7 of us and 1 of you. I like those odds.
Yup.
Perrin's been pretty good so far.
Seems like a long 6 seconds.
Anyway, yeah. So, we'll say that we're out of combat order as...
Wait, what? I fully intend to stab this man in the throat.
Fine. Well, actually, he's restrained. I guess he has a chance to break out of this. He attempts to break out. He fails. Actually, no. Yeah, I'm gonna say he fails. There's no way that you end up with probably worse than that.
Oh,
Okay,
snap. Roll.
again. Actually, no, he wins because he has the better strength mod. He breaks out, barely, but he breaks out. So as you have him restrained, we're gonna have you over here. As you have him restrained, he manages to break out, and
Does Sam get away on his turn?
It's not Sam's turn yet.
I thought Sam went before him earlier.
Okay, you're right. Sam then will stand up. He'll use half of his movement to stand up and move Uno Dos Tres over here.
Good boy.
This guy is going to use half of his movement to stand up and take 2 op attacks from the 2 of you and run over here as well.
I have my bow out, so I can only punch him right now.
Okay.
But I mean, I'll try it.
Roll a d20.
Is it just plus strength? Do I get proficiency on punching or no?
Nope.
I don't remember.
No proficiency there.
No.
You miss. Perrin,
Yeah.
you also have a ranged weapon, so unless you want to roll at disadvantage, you roll a 19. Are you trying to punch him? All right, you punch him. He takes a damage. Give me 1 second.
Probably like a D4, right?
It's just
just
one.
one.
It's just literally one
literally
damage
a
for an
damage.
unarmed strike.
Oh, well, that's a bummer.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
So
I would have gotten all my bonuses. I mean, actually, you would get sneak. No, you're not a rogue. Never mind.
all right. This guy is not a fan of what's going on here, and in trying to escape, he goes back to smaller bird form this time. Doesn't seem to be attempting to grab the boy, and he just well, actually, it's not his turn. Yeah, it is his turn. Sorry, my bad.
Well, yeah. He used his movement to get over there.
He did,
already.
yeah. He used half his movement to get over there. He turns into a smaller bird.
Well, I thought he used half his movement to stand up and then the other half to get over there.
Correct. He's not going anywhere this turn. He's just
okay,
turning into
gotcha.
a bird. That's literally all he's doing.
So I thought, yeah, my bad.
Cool. Yeah, that's all he's doing is turning into a smaller bird this time.
Okay.
All right. Now, back to the top of the order, Dreali.
I am going to shoot him again, or attempt to. I haven't had great luck on this so far.
Go for it.
First I'll step out of line with Sam so I don't miss and hit the kid.
Good call.
Aw,
Does
you
a
do
13
care.
hit the bird?
Nope.
Aw, the 13 doesn't hit the tiny bird?
The 13... You're trying to shoot a very small moving target. No, it does not hit the small moving targets.
Ah, different stat block than I was thinking of then.
Though it is very much a different stat block than you're thinking of. All right. It doesn't seem realistic to say, oh, you could easily shoot the small moving target if you're, Anyway. All right. So
I mean, an owl only has an 11.
that is true.
And a raven has a 12.
That is also true. I'm the DM, and I determine that it is.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying
unrealistic to
it's
say.
reasonable
Right.
to say that I hit it.
Right. It's reasonable in D&D. It's not reasonable in the world of like actually shooting things with a bow.
All right, that's fair.
All right. So, small bird is fluttering around. So that's your turn, I assume.
Oh wait, did he use his action to break out of the grapple?
He did. So he's not a
So
bird.
he-
He's a person. You shot a person.
Does it? I still don't know if 13 hits or not. I assume not.
No, it doesn't hit the guy.
15,
Yeah.
15 did not hit earlier,
Yeah,
so.
it didn't.
Anyways, cool.
So the arrow whizzes past the guy, who's not a bird apparently. And he's just standing there. So next up is the cat who's still standing by the house.
You could do it this time. Firebolt.
Fire bolts at the man. Let's see what happens. 12.
Hey, it's better than last time.
It is better than last time, but unfortunately it does not hit. As
Your attacks so far have been a 3, and a 5 on the dice.
I know that feel though.
I'm so sorry.
All right. So
Isn't it terrible?
it's rough. It's definitely difficult. All right. So you miss again with the fire bolt. Do you do anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Cool. And it is now Parent's turn.
Yeah.
There's a man
I
standing in front
shoot
of you.
at the man.
You shoot the man. You
Pow.
successfully shoot the man.
Wait, I wanted to keep him alive.
Good job. You kept him alive.
I shoot him again.
Okay. I wanted to keep him alive, but I shoot him twice. Double tap, just to be sure. And you do... Yeah.
12 damage that time.
That 12 damage is going to hurt him quite a bit.
Good.
He's not looking great. He's still up. He's not looking great. All right.
Oh my gosh, this dude's still up. Anyways, I walk over there.
Good call.
Or run, or whatever.
Yeah, you move yourself over there. All right. Next up, it is Sam's turn. Sam takes a look at his dagger in his hand, takes a look at him and says, I don't like you very much. And he stabs the guy, and he at least attempts to stab the guy.
Please crit. Please crit.
He crits! Oh my goodness! You called it. You called it. He crits him.
Oh my gosh.
I'll roll the damage, and he does just enough to take this guy out. Finally turns around and stabs the man, and the man goes, "What? You're just a kid." And he falls to the ground and just collapses. This man is now down. And Sam kind of looks at him and is like looking at the dagger, and his hands are shaking, and he drops it on the ground. He says, I've never done that before.
You haven't done it yet either. Pick it back up, and I like go grab the guy's head, and I point to the jugular. Slit here.
No!
You've done well.
I'm not doing that. Are you crazy? What is wrong with you people?
I look at the other people like this kid is being insane. No, Do you want to finish the job or not?
Parent, do you want to intervene in this?
Yeah. Say, Sam, don't worry about that. You can just try to regain your composure.
Fine. I'm gonna slit the guy's throat unless you want to stop me. I know earlier you said, out of character, I know earlier you said you wanted to question him. So I pick up the dagger and go to, like, slit his jugular. Do you stop me?
Yeah, I try to stop you. Say, hey,
What?
Durali, don't you
What?
think we can get a little bit more information out of this guy? He might have a bit more in the know of how to open that door we were looking into earlier.
I suppose you're right, but don't forget he can turn into other animals. So we best be careful, otherwise he can escape us.
I guess that's true too. All right. Well, I'll let you make the final decision.
Very good. Then there is, well,
Sam just turns around. He's like, I don't want to watch this.
That's fair.
All right, fine. I'm gonna make a medicine check to try and stabilize him.
Roll it. You stabilize him.
Okay, he's not dead. You didn't kill anyone, Sam. Congratulations.
Whew. Well, then
Nobody
I feel
has
a whole lot
died.
better because that was kind of cool.
Yes, it was very cool. Except, never mind. Okay, I say we tie this man up. Does anybody know anything about druids and how they turn into different animals? Like, do they have to do some magic components like we have to do for some of our spells, or how does this work? Can I make an Arcana or a Nature check
You
to
are
learn
all
more
welcome
about
to
that?
roll Arcana.
Okay. 14.
17.
Zerazur,
Do
you
either of
gonna
us-
roll? I mean, I can tell you guys. I guess Zerazur doesn't need to roll. You guys are pretty well aware that turning into a creature for this type of druid, from what you can tell, does not require too many components. But there is probably one kind of arcane focus that he would probably have to use in order to turn into that. You probably pretty well gathered that he is wearing an amulet that is his arcane focus, and that's gonna be what he uses to, transform to and from other animals. So you remove that from him, he's probably not gonna be able to turn into another animal.
Okay.
He also would have to do. He's got some spells that might be able to help him with that too, but if you take you bind his hands, and you probably won't be able to do that either. So
Yeah. Okay. I guess we do that. When we take off the amulet, Perrin, unless you want it, I'm gonna hand it over to Sam. There you go, your first trophy of a successful defeat.
he looks at. That's kind of cool, actually. He
Let's just hope it's not cursed. And then I grab the guy and start walking away.
he looks down at it with like really wide eyes. Cursed. All right, so getting back to where we were.
Man.
What did y'all decide? I heard many
been a good
things
session so
in,
far.
in this.
I
Good
don't
job
know.
out there, team.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, you've been like MVP as far as combat goes. And I don't know how Jordan intended to start that fight, but the fact that we left Sam out there was such a great way for him to get it started.
All right.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to do it that way, honestly.
Honestly, like,
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you took advantage of that.
It was a great opportunity. Originally I was gonna just have him be gone when you got out there, but you guys managed to save him, so good job. Well done. So you get this guy. I'm assuming you tie him up.
Yeah, and we decided we're gonna drag him quite a ways away from here since he mentioned others were on their way. Can Perrin and I make stealth and/or survival rolls to try and cover our tracks so they won't know where we went?
You may roll stealth.
All right.
I will just cast
Without
Pass
Trace,
Without
yeah.
Trace again.
Kind of figured
Ooh,
that was
okay.
coming, so add a 10 to your rolls.
That
33.
should actually just make us not be tracked.
Oh, yeah, you can't be
unless by-
tracked.
Oh, except
unless
by, like, magical means or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So,
But like we
okay.
don't leave tracks.
yeah,
It's just like
That's
I don't
awesome.
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's
It's-
so awesome.
It's a pretty nifty spell. So you all managed to escape. Where do y'all go?
We don't want to go back to where Sam's place is, and we don't want to go to where the shack is, because those are both like place, if we go to Sam's place and he wakes up, then Sam's location has been compromised. If we go to the shack, the other people already know about that location. So I figure we go further down the street, kind of towards the mist, and then just off to the side somewhere. If everyone's good with that.
Thumbs up from Perrin.
Okay. Sounds like a plan, I guess.
All right. You make your way down the road carrying this poor man. And I say poor, he's really not.
Oh, I guess we'd also want to get rid of the other body, like hide it somewhere. You know what? Actually, I don't think we care.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, I don't care.
probably just leave it there. All right, so you make your way down the road. You sit there for a little while. And after a couple of hours, this guy comes to.
Oh, I was just gonna, after we tied him up, I was gonna cast Good Berry, hand everybody a berry if they needed it, and then actually, Sam, I assume, took some damage, so I hand him one berry so he can restore hit points, and then I'm like, all right, are you guys ready to question him? While holding a good berry towards his mouth.
Yep, I'm ready.
Sam says, I've got a few questions for him, most certainly.
I
Not sure that you are up for the way questioning typically goes, if you didn't want to kill him.
Excuse me, but I think there's a pretty big discrepancy between murdering somebody and asking them the questions. I'm a pretty good interrogator.
Oh, are you? Tell me, how do you plan on interrogating this man?
Well, why don't you just wake him up and let me show you?
Are you going to pull fingernails, or are you going to chop off toes?
You're so unoriginal. Just wake him up.
Well, now this I have to see. Is he bound properly? Do we need to roll anything to make sure he's bound up properly, or what?
Y'all can roll survival to make sure your knots are tied correctly.
Sure. Can I? Let's see. I have a good survival. I assume that. Does anybody else have a good survival? Like anybody else really good at knots, or can somebody help me?
Yeah, I can help you.
Okay. Then 23 to tie knots.
You know, you're pretty sure they're tied correctly.
This isn't the first person that I've captured, tied up, and questioned. All right.
Alright.
And after we're sure he's good and tied up, I pop a good berry into his mouth, and he has 1 hit point.
All right. He kind of comes to, and Sam kind of.
Oh, and I would like to blindfold him before we wake him up.
You blindfold him. Okay. Sam kind of shoos everybody away from him.
I back up like 1 step, and I still have my rapier out, pointed at this man.
All right. He goes, huh? What's going on? And Sam, you didn't know a whole lot about Sam before this, other than maybe like his history. But you see a different side of Sam now. Sam leans in and whispers in his ear, just loud enough for everybody else to hear. Do you want to be alive, or do you want to die? He says, "Whoa, I want to be alive." He says, "Are you sure you want to be alive?" And he takes his dagger and he grabs the guy's hand that's bound, and he just goes straight up and just slices at one of his fingers. And the guy, he thinks he seems like he's being like really dark, and the guy goes, "Ow, that kind of hurt, but are you trying to cut my fingers off?" Sam goes, "It's a long and slow process, okay? I'm gonna sit here and keep cutting at your finger until you tell us what we need to know." And the guy says, "Look, I'm not real motivated to tell you. I mean, I've had paper cuts before. They're not fun, but it's not that bad."
I pull out my longbow, knock an arrow, aim it at his foot.
He can't see you, so.
Oh, well,
See,
as I just shoot his foot.
as you shoot.
Hey, real quick, since I woke him up with Goodberry, how long has it been, do you think? Like, would my Hunter's Mark still be up or no?
No.
Okay, good. I
Hunter's
don't
Mark
wanna
doesn't
deal with
last
a
more
bunch
than
of
an hour,
damage.
I don't think. So.
No, it doesn't. I just wanted to make sure.
All right. So as you shoot him in the foot, Sam just kind of takes that moment and goes, "Yeah, I told you it was gonna get worse. Now tell us what we want to know." and the guy is sitting there writhing in pain. By the way, he has 1 hit point, and he just yells, "Ah!" and just goes unconscious again.
Good thing I made more good berries. I made good berries, and I've only used 2 so far. So let's see.
Y'all are just gonna keep waking this poor man up and shooting him until he tells you what you want to know?
It's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, so there's 8 left. I pop another one in his mouth.
What are you doing to me? Why are you doing this to me? What do you want to know?
Well, first off, you said that there were going to be other people coming to join us. Who else? How many? And who is sending them?
Some kid. He
Named Rudy.
maybe,
Go on.
yeah, I think that's his name. He gave us a bunch of money and he said, "Hey, there's more where this came from if you go and find this kid for us." Now, me and my buddy, we're pretty good with magic. So we've made a kind of a habit out of getting in and out of places real quick and stealing things. We figured kid can't be that hard, and there he was, just in the middle of the woods with nobody else around him. We thought this was gonna be easy, and then you guys came at us. Ugh, this isn't enough money for this.
No, it really isn't. Where were you going to take him?
Well, we're gonna take him back to Rudy.
Where's that?
Rudy has a big old house up on the hill back in town.
Sam, do you know of this house?
Sam looks at him, he says, "Wait, you mean like the old candle maker's house?" It's like, yeah, I think it is actually. Says, "What's he doing up there? What happened to the candle maker?" I'm not sure, but he's not there anymore, so I'll let you use your imagination.
6 foot under.
That's probably a safe bet, yes.
All right. Sam, is there anything else you would like to know from this man, Mr. Interrogator?
Well, there is one more thing. Can you tell us, maybe, I don't know, if you know what happened to Sally? Sally? You mean that girl that was always causing problems for us? Yeah, that one. Do you know what happened to her? Oh. Nobody told you, huh? Nobody told me what? I suppose it's not my place to say,
They
but...
shoot him in the foot.
Ah! He just goes unconscious again. Sam's like, I wanted to hear that!
No, from the sound of what he's saying, she's probably dead, I'm sorry to say.
Dead?
Most likely.
Sally's dead? How did she die?
I don't know, I'm just making an educated guess. I don't even know that she's dead.
Why would they kill Sally? I mean, yeah, I know she was causing problems, but you don't just kill children.
What do you think they were going to do with you?
Shake my head. To Raleigh, you can't read rooms.
Isn't that true? You could say that again. Listen, I need to figure out what happened to Sally. So I think we need to go back to the house and investigate what happened.
So let me get this straight. You want to go back into town to a house that has your that your friend once lived in, confirm whether or not she is dead, and then we go on to the candle maker's house, you say?
Oh wait, yeah, you're not talking to the guy who's unconscious, probably.
Oh no, he's down again.
Yeah, he is.
I'm holding another good berry ready to pop it in once we're done chatting.
Sam looks at you and goes, yeah, I really need to know what happened to her, and I figure that whatever happened to her is going to give us some clue into how it is that Rudy is doing what it is he's doing.
Okay. If everybody else is good with this, Zerzer, Perrin?
Aaron just shrugs. All right, you know,
Think you'll like
that's
what
what
you
the party
find.
wants.
Oh? Seems like the cat agrees with me as to what has happened.
Okay, well, I guess then it's settled. I guess we're going to go back to Sally's house, and we're going to go make sure that she's okay, and then we're going to go back to the candlemaker's house.
And what if she is dead?
We will cross that bridge when we get to it.
You may want to trust me. You want to cross that bridge before you get there. You'd rather be greeted with a happy surprise than an unexpected tragedy.
I am not going to assume that my friend is dead. If she were in my shoes, she would go looking for me. So I'm gonna go looking for her. And Sam picks up all of his things. He pops another good berry, and then he goes, "Now let's go to Sally's house." And he starts walking.
This poor child just ate twice his daily calorie intake. He's gonna throw up. Oh goodness.
We just fed so many good berries to a captive.
What do you do with the guy, by the way? Sam is walking. He's just going.
Oh, if I look at Perrin and the cat. I suppose we should all follow him, no?
I nod.
Okay, I'll catch up in a moment.
I say I think that's for the best, and I run after Sam, or walk after.
Okay.
Zer, do you stick around, or do you follow them?
I don't really have any need to go back to the house.
Okay, so you stick around to see what I do.
Yeah.
Okay. After Sam and Perrin have walked off a little ways, I take the dagger. I just very casually cut the man's jugular, and then I bend down next to him, put my hand into my hood, and from underneath my hair, a black tarantula crawls out onto my hand. I put it down on the body of this man, and I say, there, daughter, you can have a snack now. Good girl. And I let her munch on his flesh for a little bit before picking her back up and following the others.
Wait, what is this?
He has a
It's
tarantula that just
a black
ate
tarantula.
a dead man's body. Yeah, that's a thing that
Part of
just
it.
happened.
Just nibbled a little bit.
It's just a nibble on some dead corpse. That's totally normal. You really nailed the Ravenloft campaign thing. You really did.
Thanks, man.
All right. So, all that being said, you will make your way back to Sally's house. As you approach the house, you
Is there any way to sneak in here safely again?
you know what you can do. It's the same thing you've
I
been
mean,
doing.
I don't know if he has enough spell slots for it or if he wants to use the ability.
If we haven't rested, I don't have it.
Okay. I mean, actually, you mean short rest or long rest? I figured we could have taken a short rest probably.
Long rest.
Okay, then almost certainly not.
All right. You make your way back towards the town. As you do make your way back towards the town, you hear footsteps off in the distance. And you hear people coming towards you in the other direction. What do you do?
Everybody get down and hide. And I usher everybody off the path a little ways. And I guess we all make stealth rolls?
Yep.
18. Nice.
18 seems to be the magic number.
Zer and Sam.
Zer and Sam. Oh yeah, Sam needs to make one as well.
Unfortunately, I'm very worried about this. He's done good. Oh no, he had done good.
He had done
It's
quite
okay.
well.
16 is the median roll. Right?
Alright, so you all hide in the bushes. And as you're hiding in the bushes, you start to see a few more individuals come down the road. A couple of them are adults, but most of them are kids. They're like, man, I can't stand that kid, Sam. He always is causing problems for us. Why can't he just be like the rest of us?
Cover Sam's mouth.
And as they are saying all these things that are negative about Sam, they're like, yeah, that Sally girl was a real problem too, but hey, at least we don't have to worry about her anymore, right?
I really cover Sam's mouth.
Sam just starts, he's like, you see him try to stand up, and as he tries to stand up, Dreali kind of pins him down. There's movement in the bushes, and everybody kind of stops. Did y'all see that? Did y'all hear anything?
I use my divine sense.
Mm-hmm. You sense, in fact, that there are several fiends in front of you.
Classic.
Yeah. Only, it's fewer than there were the last time, but definitely some of them are fiends. So you're definitely getting the impression that there are demon children among them.
Nice.
And they're starting to look around and investigate, and you see one of them start walking very close to you, and they're like, yeah, I think I heard something over here. And as he's about to take a step, one more step into the bushes and be able to see you, you hear somebody call from a distance. Hey! And the kid stops, and he turns around, and he starts walking back. Hey, what happened to one of our muscles? Actually, we're missing 2 of them now. What happened to them? They just went out into the woods, right? Yeah? Where are they? Well, I don't... Well, go look for them! And he shoos them off down the road, and guess who it is? None other than Rudy, standing there, menacingly ordering all of these children around. They all take off down the road, and he casually walks on behind them. You narrowly escape being caught by this crew. But now that they're all down the road, and they're a good ways down if you wait there long enough, what do y'all do?
Well, Sam, I think that you probably heard for yourself what they said. Do you still need confirmation with your own eyes?
Yes, I absolutely do. You know that kid is a liar. He'll say anything.
No, I really don't know that kid at all, actually, but I'll take your word for it.
I think you can assume he's not great. And I think he's hiding a few things.
Yes, dead bodies.
Probably. Either way, I'm going to go to that house, and even if I
Okay.
don't find Sally alive, I'll at least have answers to what happened.
All right.
All right. You ready for this next part?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. You go along the road knowing that Rudy is no longer going to come between you and the house. You approach the house. You should be on the correct screen at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You approach the house. Sam walks up to the door and knocks.
Oh, yes, great idea. Just knock on the door. Of course.
And
Brilliant.
not long after that, you hear steps, and the door opens and reveals Sally, the little girl, Zarazur, that you saw with your own 2 eyes, dead, but a day ago.
Hey, we don't know. None of the rest of us know that.
And that is where we're going to end things for tonight. Plot twist! Sally's
Clinger.
alive!
I mean, I actually am not convinced of that.
It's okay.
I think
She's
this is
there.
a demon replica. I think this is a demonic replica.
You can make all the assumptions that you would
mean,
like to make.
Draynali assumes she must be alive
Yeah.
because he knows no evidence to the contrary unless the cat decides to mention anything.
Right. We'll pick
Can
up
I use
again.
my
Yeah.
divine sense?
I have white eyes,
What
but
all?
that doesn't mean much.
What all does your divine sense pick up?
My good friend, the presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor, and powerful good rings like heavenly music in your ears. I can open my awareness to detect forces. It lets me know location of celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. I know the type, but not the identity, so I wouldn't know a specific name to a being.
Your divine senses detect nothing.
Okay, sweet.
Okay.
And that is where we will end things tonight.
Well done. Well done.
I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Hopefully on the next session you guys will discover what it is that happened to Sally and why she's not dead. Or maybe she is. Make your own assumptions or theories about what you think is going to happen to Sally. I don't know. You leave it up to you. It's in your mind's arena for the next 2 weeks until we have our next session. But in the meantime, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.
I love it. Well done.